There is a fine line between legitimate criticism and just rage baiting for the sake of viewership and content. For this particular conversation, where we start isn't where we'll end. We'll start on a particular street. We won't end there, but it will be in the same neighborhood. So, pull up a seat. Welcome to the first edition of On the Table, and let's talk about it. So let's get right into it. I have a couple of clips pulled from a couple of other YouTube channels, and they are reacting to a former video game developer named Jeff Kaplan as he talks about how a lot of these game critiquers, these people who always have something to say about video games, he's going to give what I feel is a very honest opinion. So check this out.
Now that you know the lore of this all, this led to this now infamous moment, where Jeff Kaplan decided to just spit on anyone who speaks ill of any which video game, because according to Jeff, if you don't play all the games, your opinion now doesn't matter, and it got a lot of people talking.
And this is taken from Endemion's channel. Pretty good game reviewer overall. I just want you to listen to the words because we're going to play what Jeff Kaplan said and tell me if what Jeff Kaplan said vibes with the way Endemion portrayed it.
I'm not going to twist his words, so here, watch the clip where Jeff says what he said. Here, watch.
I never understand being hostile about it or being rude about it, but I understand being upset, and I understand voicing your opinion. But, like, if a game comes out and you don't want to play it and you've never played it, shut the fuck up. No one cares.
Now, I could stop it right there because I want to focus on that point. So let me ask you out there, what about what he just said is unfair or what most people would call wrong? What about what he just said should get people upset?
Not a damn thing.
Why complain about a game that you're not going to play and that you've never played? To help draw a parallel to it, think about a type of food you don't eat. Let's say it's Mediterranean Indian food. Let's say it's that Far East stuff, some Mediterranean good Greek food or whatever it may be. Let's say that you are not interested in eating Mediterranean food, nor have you had it. If you're not interested in trying Mediterranean food and has never been to a Mediterranean restaurant, then why would you bash it?
Yeah, that's a good point.
That seems very common sense to me. Why bash something that I do not play, I have no intention of playing? Why do I care how it performs or how it looks? But let us carry on because, again, this is a starting point that's going to go to a much broader topic.
Like, we don't need to hear that you weren't into it. Like, what is with this? Oh my God, I'm so upset they decided to make this game that I have no interest in. Like, I'm not running to the internet every time there's like a TV show on. Well, I'm not watching any TV shows either, but like, who cares about my opinion if I'm not going to play it? And if I've never played it, like, why does my opinion matter on that?
So is it just me? I ask you. Is it just me, or is he making a lot of sense right now?
No. He's got a point.
Because that makes a lot of sense to me. That is a very common sense stance that he is taking.
I'll tell you what it does. Like, as a game developer who's been in charge of teams, who has the ability to, like, do something about it, I just fucking ignore you.
Which is what anyone should do. I'm pretty sure that Endemion has heard this before. Why take criticism from a person when you would not take advice from that person?
Exactly.
Other YouTube channels who often get painted one way or another, usually with a negative brush, often complain about they see the topic, they see the title of the video, they see the thumbnail, and from the title of the video and the thumbnail, they draw a conclusion without ever watching the video. So why would anybody who was on that side of being a creative, whether it's being a person that reviews video games, movies, restaurants, what have you, whether it's you making small films, whether you're making big films, if you are creative, then why would you listen to a person that's bashing you and your creative efforts or your creative content if they never have given your creative content a try and have no interest in trying it?
Good question.
Why would you listen to that person? Wouldn't logic demand that you ignore them? So I ask again, what is he saying that is wrong?
That's all you've accomplished is like, I guess I'm not like gonna listen to you anymore because you're so off the deep end that it's not even worth listening to you at that point. So I don't know.
Then, like I said, other outlets then caught wind of this, like Kotaku, as seen here, trying to claim it as some rallying cry, which was kind of pathetic. Yeah.
Kotaku, granted, is a trash site 90% of the time. But like a broken clock that's right twice a day, Kotaku is on the right side on this one.
Yeah, that was it. That's it.
Jeff Kaplan says, that's what the headline says here. Jeff Kaplan says, complaining about games you won't play gets you ignored. Shut the fuck up. No one cares. And the subtext is, the ex-Overwatch director had choice words for people who complain about games they don't even play. And they are right. It's nonsensical. It's asinine. But I'll let Mr. Endymion continue.
Yep, stick it to the paying customer, Jeff. Tell people who are the lifeblood of your industry staying alive or not to shut their mouths if they speak about games that they have problems with. It's not like...
Y'all see how Endymion phrased that? He said, that's right, Jeff. Tell the paying customer to shut the fuck up if they have a problem with the games that they're buying. He wasn't referring to the people complaining about games that they bought. He specifically said in the beginning, if you've never played it and have no intention on playing it, then why are you complaining about it? If you own it, you bought it, and you don't like it, feel free. That is your right.
Mm-hmm.
You're unhappy with a product. But to complain about something that you will never buy, have no interest in buying, that's just the definition of what we call hating.
True that. True that.
And Endymion flipped his words. Y'all heard what Jeff said, and you heard how Endymion phrased it. If you didn't, let me rewind it and let Endymion put his words in there the way he interpreted what Jeff said in a very simple language.
Yep, stick it to the paying customer, Jeff. Tell people who are the lifeblood of your industry staying alive or not to shut their mouths if they speak about games that they have problems with. It's not like they spent their money on it or anything, but as you might have guessed, this did not go over well at all with a lot of people because, well, Jeff, he came off as tone deaf.
No, he didn't. Y'all heard Endymion expressed what he believed Jeff Kaplan said. That's not what he said.
Not at all.
He specifically said, for those people that don't buy or have no interest in playing this game. But Endymion just put it out there, oh, he's talking to everybody who has an opinion. And he wasn't. And it wasn't just him. Let me give you someone else that did very much the same thing.
Y'all's thoughts on that? Shut up, consume. You don't need to have an opinion about it. You're not going to play it. What are you talking about?
I love that he makes a point of having an opinion about other people having an opinion and how other people shouldn't have an opinion, and he has an opinion on that.
Again, how did they twist that? How did they twist that man said, why are you complaining about something that you have no intention on purchasing or playing? Why are you complaining about it?
Well, we're waiting.
I will give you a video game equivalent. I don't play those things called comfort games, things like Animal Crossing, Candy Crush, stuff like that. I really don't play those games. So I don't care how they perform. I don't care how they look. It doesn't bother me because I don't play them. To take it to a grander scale, MMOs, massive multiplayer online RPG, I don't play those. World of Warcraft, Overwatch, the PvP, PvE, I don't play them. I don't care how they look. I don't care how they perform. So why would I bitch about it? If they change something in that game, I wouldn't know about it. And if they change something in the game that makes a headline, I wouldn't care about it because I don't play it. That is literally, y'all heard him verbatim. That is literally what Jeff Kaplan said. And you have people switching his words to say something completely different so it fits their narrative, to give them content. Because, well, I'll get into that in a moment. Let this play out.
Yeah.
That's fun.
That's pretty much it. That's like the perfect way of saying it.
Why do I care about what Jeff Kaplan thinks? He's never going to watch our show. He's never going to say anything. He's never going to know whatever, right?
Exactly.
You really proved his point. Why would you give a damn about what Jeff Kaplan says about side scrollers if he has never watched it and doesn't plan to? Why would you care? That is his entire point. Why do you care if it's something that you're not going to involve yourself with? Oh, I know. It's because hate sells. Negativity sells. And that is the broader point I want to make here. The thing that I want to discuss, and I did this back before the rebrand, time out. Thank you for checking out the rebrand of Free Mind Thinkers. We're now called On the Table. I did an intro video. It is on the homepage of this channel. Please check it out. But I did videos on this in the past. And those videos talk about how YouTube became the #1 source of information. Let's keep it in the realm of video games here. The realm of video games, you had the Gamergate and Gamergate 2 talked about one of the problems. It's multi-layered, y'all. But one of the things that set Gamergate off was the dishonesty of video game journalists. Kotaku being a hellhole of ideology over game content. With that going on and mainstream media being very much the same way, they give you opinions and feelings instead of pure facts. With that going the way it did, a lot of people turned to YouTube because you had a lot more honest game reviewers. You had far more honest and authentic and factually based citizen journalists that were bringing you news, notes, and facts from a unbiased standpoint, pushing against the narrative being whatever the mainstream media said. And a large majority of the time, those citizen journalists, those YouTube channels, those content creators were more honest, accurate, and truthful than the traditional media.
That's a fact.
Games or mainstream, however you slice it. With that being the way, YouTube became, I do believe, even as of today, YouTube is the #1 source for people to get news and information. So, what does that mean, Tucker? It means this. Like most things, it can become corrupt under the influence of its own power.
I mean, that's true.
Or, as we tend to say in the vernacular, you huffing your own farts. Now, if you really watch YouTube, you will find a lot more negative reviews about entertainment than you will positive reviews.
Yes, definitely true. Yes, we all know that. Go on.
And to an extent, I get it. Because a lot of the positive reviews, a lot of it does fall in line with the narrative, with the agenda, with the propaganda. It does fall into that. A lot of things that are being hyped and pushed as excellent are really just ideological trash creations from music to movies and television. It's garbage. But with that said, that doesn't include everything.
True.
When I did videos calling this out a couple of years ago, I would listen to YouTube channels, and on one hand, they would say, well, this movie didn't give enough backstory to make this make sense and blah, blah, blah. Then another movie of the same type, let's say an action movie, would come out and they'd give a lot of backstory to the characters. And those same reviewers who complained about little to no backstory now complained it was too much backstory. Oh, we didn't need all that backstory. We don't care. And that's when it hit me. Wow. So your entire premise, your entire audience, your entire spiel, your shtick is negativity.
That's it.
You're going to hate whatever said company puts out and love whatever independent company puts out, or vice versa, no matter how it goes. If you listen to them and watch them long enough, they double talk. I used to be subscribed to a lot of channels and a lot of, let's call them citizen reviewers. And I noticed at one point in time that as time went on, how they would change, how the idea they had, what they complained about in March, they let slide in April. And to me, that's a level of hypocrisy. I'm not saying people can't change their minds. No, actually, I encourage it. Once you receive new information on something, it is incumbent upon you to take that information, and if it is proven to be contrary to a widely held belief that you had, it is upon you to make those changes. You get new information, you make a decision. Like driving a car down the road. If you know that the road ahead is closed, you choose an alternate route.
Yep.
What I don't like is you just switching to be controversial. You're just going against everything to be anti. You know what I mean? You have people that just like to go against the narrative, like to go against the grain. They're just very anti. If that's your stick, that's your stick. But don't try to pass it off as being authentic. You're not. You're a hypocrite. And that's a period point blank thing. The same thing that we started this conversation off with, discussing those YouTube channels. You see, I'm pretty sure that these same channels talked about the hypocrisy of the mainstream media and gaming journalists and things of that nature. These are the same people that railed against the censorship and the fakeness of what they were presenting to the public. And now, like a very prophetic line from the movie Untouchables,
I have forsworn myself. I have broken every law I swore to defend. I have become what I beheld, and I am content that I have done right.
That's right. Now these same people that were the voice of the people have become the mainstream that they hated so much. Like Elliot Ness just said, they have become what they held in contempt and feel justified in doing so. I'm not saying I'm a saint. I'm not saying that I'm perfect. But if I change opinions on something, I'm going to let you know and let you know why. But just to be going against the grain and to be negative just because it's the big bad boogeyman, just because, oh, it's a top 10 game developer, or it's just the mainstream media, or it's this, or it's that. I'm going to hear everybody out. I'm going to give everybody a chance to speak. And then I'm going to investigate their words for myself. And if I find it to be false, I will conduct myself accordingly. I just don't get how the same people who would scream about injustice and the media altering words and twisting things around to fit their narrative have now become the same people that are doing the twisting. Be careful how often you become what you hate.
You either die a hero or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain.
Well, thanks for sitting down with me and having a little conversation. I hope this enlightens you and opens your minds up in some way, form, or fashion. If you like what you heard, hit the like button. Subscribe if you're interested. We try to upload videos on a regular basis. I thank you for your time. And most importantly, before you go, drop a comment, share me out there, and hopefully you'll come back again and have a sit down where we lay it all on the table. Have a good one.